As millions of Catholics around the world mourn the loss of the leader of their church, faith leaders here in the Metroplex are remembering Pope Francis. NBC5's Keenan Willard is at the Cathedral of Our Lady of Guadalupe in Dallas, where the local Catholic community is coming together today. Keenan?
Yeah, Brittany, it really is. We've seen people, obviously, this cathedral so important to the Catholic faith here in the Metroplex. Families coming up just to stand outside and gaze upon the cathedral. Others bringing flowers to lay at the altar of the Virgin outside these walls. All of them really shaken, just like the global Catholic community, in the wake of this news about the death of Pope Francis. And today, just over an hour ago, we heard the Dallas bishop talking about Pope Francis, his impact on the church, and also the compassion he led with.
Pope Francis served as a true shepherd, a universal shepherd. He lived his ministry with humility and boundless care for every soul.
Now, speaking here at the cathedral downtown today, Dallas Bishop Edward Burns described Pope Francis's commitment to the most vulnerable followers of the Catholic faith, specifically talking about his commitment to migrants and the poor. The bishop spoke about his gratitude to Pope Francis for appointing him back in 2016. He also talked about the timing of this, saying it really stands out that Pope Francis passed just one day after spending Easter Sunday in a packed St. Peter's Square surrounded by the flock he led for more than a decade. One quote from the bishop this afternoon: Pope Francis lived his ministry with humility, compassion, and a boundless care for every soul. Burns said their faith community is mourning today the loss of the man and his leadership.
The church has lost a remarkable leader, and in the world, a powerful witness to Christ's love.
Now, the man who's actually going to be in charge of that process of selecting the next pope was actually bishop here in Dallas for a decade. That's Kevin Farrell, now the cardinal, the interim head of the Catholic Church. Coming up ahead at 6, we're going to be talking about those who worked alongside him in North Texas, their hopes for him during this grave responsibility to the global Catholic faith. Again, more on that coming up ahead at 6. Back to you.
Jorge Mario Bergoglio fue un hombre que rompió esquemas. Fue el primer papa de las Américas, el primer papa no europeo en más de 1000 años, el primer jesuita y el primero en adoptar el nombre de Francisco. Tenemos cobertura en equipo, en vivo con mis colegas Keenan Willard, Carlos Zapata y Olivia Martínez. Comenzamos con Keenan, quien nos habla de esa conexión directa con el norte de Texas. El cardenal Kevin Farrell, antiguo obispo de Dallas, está ahora al frente de la Iglesia Católica y dirigirá la elección del próximo papa. Keenan, adelante. Buenas tardes.
Norma, buenas tardes. Tú puedes ver en este momento la iglesia de Nuestra Señora de Guadalupe está poniendo una sábana negra frente del edificio como un símbolo de este tiempo de dolor y tristeza en la comunidad católica internacional. Y también esta tarde estamos aprendiendo más y más sobre este hombre, Kevin Farrell, el cardenal con raíces aquí al norte de Texas. Los católicos de todo el mundo se despertaron el lunes con la noticia del fallecimiento del jefe de su iglesia. El obispo de Fort Worth, Michael Olson, fue nombrado para su cargo por el Papa Francisco. Dice que el Papa dirigió con gracia y se dedicó a los seguidores más vulnerables de la iglesia.
Es un ejemplo cristiano por todos, no simplemente por católicos, pero todos en el mundo.
Hoy líderes de la diócesis de Dallas hablaron del impacto del Papa Francisco, cambiando la iglesia para siempre como el primer Papa de las Américas.
Es realmente una gran pérdida lo que la Iglesia Universal ha experimentado ahorita con la pérdida y con el deceso de nuestro Papa.
Del nuestro Santo Padre Francesco.
Esta mañana el ex obispo de Dallas, Kevin Farrell, ahora cardenal, anunció la muerte del Papa desde el Vaticano. Farrell presidirá el funeral del Papa y el cónclave para elegir al próximo líder de la Iglesia.
Pues él lleva una gran responsabilidad, hay que pedir todos de que el Espíritu Santo sobre todo lo asista.
Farrell nació en Irlanda y fue obispo de Dallas del 2007 a 2016, antes de ser llamado al Vaticano por el Papa Francisco. Los líderes católicos del norte de Texas afirman que Farrell es un hombre dedicado al proceso y confían en que pueda liderar al Vaticano en la histórica decisión que se avecina.
Es importante tener un hombre de Dios y también un hombre de la fe y un hombre de la iglesia.
Y también es importante entender que este cónclave, el proceso de elegir al próximo papa, puede empezar tan pronto como el 6 de mayo, normal.
Expecting only to celebrate Easter Monday, Catholics around the world instead woke up to find the head of their church had passed on. Fort Worth Bishop Michael Olson was named to his position by Pope Francis. He says the Pope led with grace and devoted himself to the church's most vulnerable followers.
He attempted to live a life of simplicity and hope amidst a world that is really ensnared by complications and selfishness.
Today, the Dallas bishop spoke about Pope Francis's impact, changing the church forever as the first pope from the Americas.
Pope Francis served as a true shepherd, a universal shepherd. He lived his ministry with humility and boundless care for every soul.
Del nostro Santo Padre Francesco.
This morning, former Dallas Bishop Cardinal Farrell, now a cardinal, announced the Pope's death from the Vatican. As Cardinal Camerlengo, Farrell will preside over the Pope's funeral and the conclave to select the next leader of the church.
Those of us here in Dallas who know Cardinal Farrell surround him with our support and prayers as he carries this weighty task.
Farrell was born in Ireland and served as Dallas Bishop from 2007 to 2016. Before being called up to the Vatican by Pope Francis. Catholic leaders in North Texas say Farrell is a man dedicated to process, and they feel confident he can lead the Vatican in the historic decision ahead.
I pray for Cardinal Farrell. I think he is very capable to carry out what the expectations of the church are in this matter.
So what does that process that Cardinal Farrell is going to be leading actually look like? Well, the church is going to enter into immediately 9 days of mourning for the loss of Pope Francis. And after that, the rules say that conclave process to select the next pope has to happen, or at least begin, between 15 to 20 days after the death of the previous pope. That would have it beginning around May 6th. Meredith.